we'll call this meeting to order. And I'm going to ask Mr. Brooks to lead us in a pledge, Kurt leads us in prayer. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to recite the Lord's Prayer. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
All right, first item, we have public comments.
No, go back.
Okay, I'm looking at the wrong one here. All right, next one, the approval of minutes.
Back up.
Huh?
Got to add on.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. We have an add-on item to the agenda to accept the project 1913 renovations to the Cameron Main Library as substantial complete. Need a motion to add that. A motion by Kurt, second by Thomas, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we'll go to public comment, I guess, on that same add-on. Okay? Okay. Being no comment, we'll move forward. All right, I need approval of minutes.
Move.
A motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
This is to add the item.
All right, now we have we already did approve the add-on. So, filling in pipeline permits. Hilltop Energy Company, Grand Engineer Field, Hillcorp Energy Company, Grand Engineer Field, and Blue Marlin Offshore Port LLC, Johnson White.
Move.
You have a motion? Motion and a second. Before we go forward, we did have a letter of objection that has been filed, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Wait, who made the motion in the second on that one?
And Lee, I believe.
Stay with me.
Okay.
All right, number 7, other permits, LDH LLC Grand Lake Area and Coastal Waterway. James Bryan and Sharon Deering Allen, Holly Beach. Gravity Drainage District number 4, Creo. Another one, Gravity Drainage District number 4, Oak Grove area. E, Royal Bailey Construction Incorporated, Trosclair Road. F, BP Remediation Management, West Hackberry. G, Gravity Drainage District number 4, East Creo. H, Gravity Drainage District number 4, Creo Canal. I, Gravity Drainage number 4, Highway 27, West Creo. J, Energy Louisiana Incorporated, Hackberry area. K, Gravity Drainage District number 4, North East Creo. L, Gravity Drainage District number 4, South East Creo. M, Gravity Drainage District number 4, Oak Grove area. N, Gravity Drainage District number 4, Creo. O, Chevron in the Johnson's Bayou. And P, Gravity Drainage District number 4, Little Chenier.
Move.
A motion by Mr. Kurt, second by Ms. Thomas, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ray, approve meeting schedule for 2021. A motion by Mr. Hand,
Second.
and Mr. Joe, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approve holiday schedule for, that's on there twice.
No one-
Holiday schedule for 2021.
Move.
Who's that?
Mr. Butch.
Mr. Butch made a motion. Second, Mr. Lee, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Number 10, approve budget amendments for December 2020.
Move.
And motion, Mr. Kirk.
Second.
Second, Mr. Joe, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. 11, adopt Cameron Parish Police Jury budget for year ending December 31st, 2021. Move. Motion, Mr. Butch.
Second.
Second, Mr. Lee, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Number 12, accept bids for 2021 on dust control, limestone, and white goods. Need to do them separate?
Mhm.
Okay, we'll go dust control first.
On dust control, we received two bids, one from Dust Control LLC and one from Southern Quality Equipment. Being that Dust Control LLC was the lower bidder, the recommendation is to accept that bid.
Move. Have a motion, Mr. Lee.
Second.
Second, Mr. Kurt, all in favor? Motion carries. All right, Limestone.
Limestone, we also received two bids, one from Roy Bailey Construction and one from Port Aggregate. Roy Bailey Construction had the higher score on the points. Recommendation is to accept Roy Bailey Construction.
Move.
Second,
Second.
Mr. Thomas. Second, Mr. Trahan, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. White goods.
We received one white good proposal from Josh Mayhew. It was incomplete. My recommendation is to reject that bid and go out for rebid.
And we need a motion for that.
Move to reject and go out for rebid.
Okay, have a motion, Mr. Kurt.
Second.
Second, Mr. Curtis, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, 13, President authority to sign a cooperative endeavor agreement with the Office of the Coroner, East Baton Rouge Parish, to replace our agreement with Calcasieu Parish for autopsy services.
That is due to the Calcasieu Parish facility being damaged and them not being able to handle the autopsies.
Please.
If anybody has.
Not good with this, or?
Dr. Dukey's here, and I kind of, Dr. Dukey and I kind of worked together on this, and he can interject if he feels the need to, but he was notified by Calcasieu Parish that they're no longer doing out-of-parish autopsies because their facility was damaged in the hurricane. Dr. Dukey then looked around to try to find somebody to provide a similar service. The nearest place you could find something similar is in Broussard, it's a private facility that would not have the kind of capabilities that an elected coroner's office would have. The closest you could find to have the services that Calcasieu provided was in East Baton Rouge, and I used to work in East Baton Rouge as attorney, and I'm familiar with their coroner, Dr. Clark. He's very well respected. He does a very good job. I've read his reports for, in a professional capacity, it was my recommendation of the choices that he had that would go with East Baton Rouge, and they fulfill a service similar to Calcasieu did for the parishes around it. East Baton Rouge does this for 3 or 4 parishes in its area as well. So we're not reinventing the wheel with anybody. And it's my understanding the only real increase in cost is going to be transport. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So the cost of the autopsy and all that remain basically the same, but the cost of transporting bodies, obviously, instead of going to Lake Charles, going to Baton Rouge is going to be higher. And they have a CEA that they use with 3 or 4 of the parishes that they provided. I updated it to reflect the agreement, to be an agreement between us and them, and Dr. Dukey, and I believe y'all have copies of that if y'all want to sign it. If anybody has any questions.
We just be using it to Lake Charles to back up and run.
I think this agreement is for 2 years. It can be extended. But it might not be 2 years, I'm not sure, but either party can terminate with 30 days notice, I believe.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want Lake Charles up and running, we're still dealing with that.
No, well, we were informed that Lake Charles would not be up and running for at least 2 years, right?
Yes, sir, the Charlie Hunter, Charlie Hunter, chief investigator, talked with me, and they will not accept patients or scenes back for autopsy until their new facility is built and operational. We feel it's a minimum of 2 to 3 years, probably longer. They haven't even started the facility yet.
And the only other option versus finding an out-of-parish facility would be to construct a facility here in Cameron Parish. I don't think it's feasible up there.
All right, thank you, sir. Any motion? Motion, Mr. Second. Joe, second by Scott, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. 14, President authority to sign cooperative review agreement with to receive disaster funding from the Louisiana Department of Treasury. Motion, Mr. Curtis. Second, Mr. Kurt, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. 15, President authority to sign resolution adopting the narrative and the language access plan for the Title VI Civil Rights Act.
What is this?
That is a requirement to apply for restore funding. And the restore funding that we're applying for is to do Rockefeller Extension Shoreline Protection Project.
Okay.
We had civil rights.
That was nothing to do with it.
It's just, there's a resolution, but it's basically a plan saying that you're gonna, respect people's civil rights. When you do hiring, it's gonna be equal opportunity to all. We're not gonna discriminate based on race, sex.
Okay. Need a motion? Mr. Curtis, need a motion?
Second.
Take Mr. Joe, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. 16, accept proposal and grant authority to parish administrator to execute contracts for architectural services relative to FEMA DR 4559 and DR 4570 projects.
What are those, Dave? That's everything all together?
So there are facilities that were deemed total losses, and before we can even get an architect engaged to start doing rebuilds, we have to procure them, and that's what this RFQ process was. We advertised, and only one firm submitted a proposal to help do all the design and scoping efforts for all the PWs, and that firm was Porsche and May.
Who?
They're called Porsche and May.
Is that last year?
I looked at there, we have the option to re-advertise and solicit signs, but that's gonna put us back another 30 days. I did look through their proposal, I have copies if you wanna review it, but they have a lot of experience with every type of public facility. They have recreational facilities, they've done public buildings, they've done schools. They're very well respected, and one of their references was Gregson, Cassidy, and Hillary, which is our auditing firm. So I spoke to them, and they hold them in high regard.
You feel good with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Need a
I'll make
motion?
that motion.
A motion by Mr. Trahan,
Second.
second by Mr. Curtis, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. 17, consideration.
I'd like to make a motion to remove this from the.
Okay.
Can't.
Have a
We
motion.
can't remove it.
Table.
A motion to table. Need a second.
Second.
Second. Okay. Mr. Scott made a motion, Tom second, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. 18, President authority to sign resolution of support to the Southwest Coastal State allocation of construction funding. Want to tell us what that is?
Yeah, this program was, back in 2016, approved, for the residential structure elevation program. The program has already been developed for, and approved for engineering and design. And, of course, now it comes at no better time where we're asking y'all to support, this appropriation of funding. It'll be, passed in front of Congress, so they can start construction funding. At this time, they've only appropriated funds for EMD, which is engineering and design.
Has anybody read this thing?
Huh?
Has anybody read this?
Oh yeah, this has been really ongoing since 2006.
Okay, any
And
comment?
it's through the Corps of Engineers and Coastal Protection. Yeah, and Coastal Protection Restoration Authority.
This is for what?
Elevation of structures
From Hurricane Rita?
from 2016.
Why are we still dealing with stuff from
Because they only received funding for E&D, which is they would go out to the property, survey the property, get elevation shots. And this program is for the parishes of Cameron, Vermillion, and Calhoun.
Probably should have hit that a little harder last meeting.
So I think we need to support it for construction funding. It'll only hopefully allow more funding for residents to elevate and possibly can hold out more HMGP dollars for infrastructure projects.
By approving this thing, we're not approving any changes or extra burden upon locals.
Oh, no, this is gonna help your locals.
Okay, sure about that.
Yes.
And move again.
So they had a big meeting here last year where they explained that to the people who were eligible.
Right.
They had a big meeting about it. And it was all explained at the time. We all got letters.
Okay, Brian, you had something to say?
No, Ms. Cindy hit it perfectly. It's a federally funded project that started back when Congressman Standing was still in 06. It took them that long to get the chief's report to the Corps of Engineers. They just accepted it a few years back. This is a non-structural housing elevation program. That's the only thing they're moving on first. Okay, so all the old SRL elevation houses that didn't get elevated through HMGP or through Road Home, they were on this list. And they had to come in and they had to do inspections of 3,500 homes in the three parish area. And so the state is providing a portion of the match, because it's a 75-25. The state is looking for the rest of the money through the CPRA, like Kara mentioned, to cover that cost, so the homeowners don't have to pick it up. It's a voluntary program. If you recall, we had fought, they were trying to make acquisitions mandatory. That if you didn't participate, if you didn't voluntarily participate in the program, you were bought out. And we fought that and got that changed for the three parish area. We had to go to DC and actually get that done. And so this is a program just to try and get us some more funds to elevate homes that, if they're even remaining.
But you know, anytime they have a study and they're asking us to sign off on it, sure makes us nervous.
This was already approved without your, this was approved congressionally. And the state signed off on it.
Motion by Mr. Trahan.
Second.
Curtis made the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Second. Motion by Mr. Curtis, second by Mr. Trahan, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Let's see, 20, need a motion, maybe? Motion by Mr. Trahan, second by Mr. Lee, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. 21, accept project 1913, renovation to the Cameron Main Library. Any discussion on that? Good, Dee? Cameron Library's good, Dee?
Well, this was actually, Miss Dee Dee, you wanna let them know what happened? This was shelving.
Okay.
No, this was they built the desk and they did all of this and they did the substantially complete 2 days before Hurricane Laura, which came in and got all that wet and we had to tear it all out. I sent it to Miss Jenny and then to Glenn, and I think we're just gonna go ahead and put it on insurance because all they have is a little punch list.
I'll make a motion. Motion by Scott,
Second.
second by Kurt, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Let's go back, Kurt, you got something you want to read?
Yes, sir. Thank you. From the Parish of Cameron, State of Louisiana, whereas Mr. Darrell Williams reported this life on Monday, October 19, 2020. Whereas this body and the people of Cameron Parish shall be eternally indebted until the late Mr. Darrell Williams, for his faithful service to the Cameron Parish Police Jury, Cameron Lions Club, Cameron Parish Little Drippers, numerous Cameron Parish athletic programs, Cameron Parish and the residents of the parish of Cameron, because with his true heart of service and volunteerism, he was an exemplary example and inspiration to all of Cameron Parish. Whereas Mr. Williams was a dedicated public servant to the parish, the boards of Cameron Parish, and his community, as well as to his position as Cameron Parish tax assessor-elect. Having not yet been sworn in, but working to assure taxpayers were treated equitably and fairly following Hurricanes Laura and Delta. Whereas whether Mr. Williams would be found running up and down the basketball court, up and down the football field, or passionately arguing a cause for the common good, he would do so with pride and passion, as he knew no other way. And whereas Mr. Williams will always be remembered for his smile and his contagious laughter, and his spirit will forever live in the hearts of the people of Cameron Parish. Now therefore be it resolved by the police jury of the parish of Cameron, Louisiana, in regular session convened on this 10th day of December 2020. The secretary is hereby directed to spread this resolution on the minutes of this body and forward certified copies thereto the family of Mr. Darrell Williams. Adopted and approved this 10th day of December 2020. I'd ask for the jury to please step out front. President, at this time, I'd like to adjourn the meeting.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing about Darrell. Me and him worked together for a long time, and we had some good times and we had some rough times. But the one thing I'll probably remember is this, and Darrell is, Lee Falk, you know we can't do this. We're gonna get our ass in trouble. So Darrell was there for me, guiding me, and so many others in this office at times, and they're surely gonna be missed. That's all I have.
Go ahead.
Got pen in your mouth.
No,
Go ahead.
no, I mean, ain't enough to be said about there. I mean, it's just too many things you can say, be here all day long. I mean, he's a great guy, very great guy, very loving guy. Love his parish, love his family.
Y'all, been known Darrell a long time, all through high school, and we all lived on Ranch near him. And, me and him and old Stevie, spoiled head, Shannon, used to all hang around a lot together, we had much good times down here. We'll be going frogging with him up at Fellows or something like that, or John's. And go up my 12 years as a juror here from 2000, you know, beginning with 12, working with Darrell. And, you know, I put sometimes, hey, I can't do that, you know, and this and that, you know. But, we all miss him,